Hello there everyone and a happy January 21st. There isn't a special occasion in January 21st unless some of you are having your birthdays, but it is still a day and we should celebrate each and every day. That was a terrible intro I did. And I do realize I haven't been doing many From the Depths videos, and the videos for other games have been increasing by a lot, but I tend to get back to FTD now that I have gotten over my burnout from FTD. So today I not only have one but three very small yet very nicely built craft. I was surprised by these three crafts, so welcome back to playing with subscriber crafts after a long time. Hopefully I will do more of them, and hopefully you guys will have your crafts in there as well. Roll the intro. And we are gonna start off with Gayden's gunboat. Yes, guys, you guys guessed it. It is from the same creator who created the Gazer battleship. The 6 million, I think, battleship that is ridiculously big, ridiculously impractical, ridiculously powerful. And he is now building an aircraft carrier which is named Gayden, and this is a gunboat that the Gayden launches. I think he's not yet done with the aircraft carrier, but he's done with this one, so he set this thing in. As always, let's start with docking this thing and checking its guts, because ship guts are always fun. And as we guys can see, this is built on the same rainbow theme. The creator, Dr. Cruiser, I have tried for months, yet I cannot pronounce his name. I do not know why. It's German name, and this boat is surprisingly high, 86,000 resources. But then when was his craft cheap? 86,000 resources, yet a surprisingly low 3,390 volume. What did you fit in here to make it this freaking expensive? We have a launcher, a missile launcher at the back. I think this is on a 360 turret. We'll check that out. Then we have quite the amount of propellers down in there. It would probably push this thing up like a boat, but it doesn't, as we see. And particle cannons, because why the hell not? This thing is just, yeah, repair tentacles on chains. The chains are quite the nice addition. Let's look at the armoring scheme, if it has any at all. So the armoring scheme right off the bat is a heavy armor internal. No wonder this thing was so expensive. The whole inside is made of heavy armors, and this thing does run out of RTGs. Okay, now I know where the cost comes from. This is this is a compact piece of heavy duty jewelry. And to complement that heavy armor, we have 1 to 2 layers of metal in some places. So this thing is quite nicely armored, although I doubt this thing has shields as well. Wow. I'm amazed how much stuff we can fit in here. Alpha, let's increase the alpha. Black shields. Absolute black shields that I cannot see. Okay, let's increase the redness. So, it has overlapping shields. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 shields of overlap. 3 to 4 shields of overlap from every angle. Yeah, this guy doesn't know normal, alright? This guy doesn't know normal 69. Look at that. Look at that armoring scheme. In terms of power, it only uses electrical power because ridiculous amounts of RTGs. Has 110,000 electrical capacity, producing 3,700 engine power. That's quite a lot for such a small craft. Then it has these resource blocks, resource holders, resource storage, whatever you call them, thingamajingy. It has lines of ammo. Why is the ammo like this? It has 2 lines of ammo there, and if they blow up, he has a big ammo case in here as well. So it has 6,600 ammo. Some of my battleships don't have this much ammo. What? Then there are propellers facing downwards because, let's be honest here, this is no way on Earth gonna be buoyant on itself. Heavy armor and metal. There's nothing buoyant about this thing. Then there is this turret, which is... Oh, these are not packs. These are actually simple lasers. So I think he cut down on the packs this time. Let's check out how fast it moves. I kind of forgot to check that out. This goes to show in how long I haven't done one of these. Alright, and as expected, this it pushes itself up like a speedboat, but then the PID stabilizes itself, moves at around 24 meters per second, will never run out of energy because RTGs, and shoots these ear-numbing lasers. Oh my god. And they're rainbowed as well, because why the hell not? And the missiles, they are, of course, on turrets. And they can shoot anywhere. Oh, these detection systems are on turrets as well. That's a nice addition. And those are all 7 colors of a rainbow. Of course they are. And what are these? Mimic blocks appearing as... How do we check that? I have no idea what these are. What are these? Traffic cones? What mesh is this? I have no idea, guys. Okay, what? Is that a new block that I'm not aware of? Oh, it even has medium missiles in the size that I somehow did not notice. Wow, medium gun tree. It's torpedoes. Those are torpedoes with 1 fuel tank, 1 fin, 2 fragmented warhead, and a torpedo sonar, while the missiles in the back are a juicy variable thruster, 2 fins, fuel tank, target prediction guidance, and 2 fragmented warheads. So frag missiles for the win, and some low range simple lasers. But I think for 86,000 resources, this might not have enough firepower. It might have, who knows. Let's shoot this thing, and oh boy. I still am in a doubt how it will perform against those 8-meter shells that we used to shoot up crafts, but I am pretty skeptical because although this thing is made of heavy armor, this thing is small. Starting off with pure AP because shields have been nerfed and they don't bounce all the time. They do bounce all the time. Okay, they don't bounce all the time. So 1 AP shell went through and 1 AP shell did quite a lot of damage because ammo. Let's shoot it more. Yeah, a few AP shells are indeed going through. This was not the case before the shield nerf, but look at that. Alright guys, while editing I realized this. Let's be honest. I shot it with all the shells, but everything went through. This thing, despite being a heavy armor internal, does not fare that good against these large 8-meter shells. And even heat, the amount of heavy armor in there makes the heat spawn inside the heavy armor and it eats the internal. So this is not really a good armoring scheme for this craft. Let's skip this part. And then my most awaited shell, The grav rams. This is a small ship. Might as well go into the bottom of the sea. Grav rams! Ram this! What? It just disappeared. It disappeared. Where is it? It absolutely disappeared. What did it? Oh, there it is. There it is. Thingamajingy absolutely disappeared in the bottom of the ocean, and now the PID is working its way back to the surface, where it will topple over a little and take a little bit of time to fix itself. Let's fight things with it. It's 86,000 resources. We have a lot of things that is 86,000 resources. Look at that, drift away. Gayden gunboat versus Mr. Hover Mark 1. Mr. Hover Mark 1 has jumped from 10,000 resources to 23,000 resources because of the missile changes. But I'm pretty sure the Gayden is gonna win this one. And I just want to see Mr. Hover die on this one. So, let's begin the battle. The Mr. Hover has started the assault with launching a few missiles, while the Gayden has launched a few missiles as well, and the Gayden gunboat is deflecting each and every single one of those APS shells, while the missiles, surprisingly enough, tried to hit a spot and missed, or maybe they just aren't good enough because starter missiles, and the Mr. Hover is down to 91% while the Gayden gunboat is at 97%. All in all, the victory looks like it's gonna go to the Gayden gunboat because it is quite faster than Mr. Hover, and it is approaching Mr. Hover to close in on that sweet laser distance. And once the laser goes off, it will burn Mr. Hover alive. That is for sure. Although the shield nerf means that some of the shells are indeed going through, but oh boy, the amount of armor stacking value on this metal means the shells are doing nothing at all. And finally, the lasers and missiles have started shooting, and looks like it is going to be the death. Yep, the lasers just shot off the AI, and now Mr. Hover is going down. Despawn with pride, Mr. Hover. Gayden, you won. And now, sitting at almost the same resource cost is the Gayden gunboat versus the Soul Scorcher. Who will win? Who will win? Place bets in the comments. The last bet was way too fast. The Soul Scorcher starts with a pack volley, while the Gayden starts with a missile volley. And the Gayden is trying to get close enough to fire its lasers, while the Soul Scorcher has scored a pack hit on the Gayden, which has shaved off a little bit of its buttocks. But both of them looks like they're gonna ram each other. They're gonna ram each other. The Gayden rams the Soul Scorcher, and now it is just a question of who can kill who faster. The Gayden takes a full volley of those pack lasers, while the ram has decapitated the pack laser. While the ram has decapitated one of the pack turrets on the Soul Scorcher, and now the Gayden gunboat is at 96%, while the Soul Scorcher is at 88%, while surprisingly enough, the Gayden gunboat has had its AI shot off by the pack, and it's now sinking. How did that happen? The Soul Scorcher looks pretty dead, but it's still shooting the Gayden, and the Gayden, despite being at a much higher health than the Soul Scorcher, has lost his AI and is now just a sitting duck for the Soul Scorcher, and is going down. All in all those ammo in the sides does more harm to this ship than good, I would say. Coming up next is the Skyfury by Matey83, and yes, this time I checked the name, and one of them is a little pink while the other is a little redder. They are different versions. Yes, the Skyfury has two versions. One is a little bit more expensive, sitting at 32,000 resources and only 1,467 volume. And the other one is 26,000 resources, sitting at 1,459 volumes. So not much of a volume difference, but a lot of a cost difference in terms of small crafts. But this thing, let me tell you guys, is a little ridiculous. This does not rely on having a lot of armor. This does not rely on having shields. This relies on dodging everything you throw at it. And this relies on doing enough damage to the enemy before it can kill you. And it also relies on staying afloat even if the engine is blown off. So yeah, all in all, a very impressive craft. Let's check out the guts of this thing. If they would stop looting each other. Stop looting each other. That's would you look at that, guys? These move at a constant 45 meters per second. Isn't that nice? And then they can strafe as well, roll as well, stuff, yaw, all kinds of stuff. Everything an airplane should do, but then it's kind of hover, not an airplane, but looks like an airplane. Such a bizarre creation, yet a very powerful one. Looking at the internals of the budget version, and right off the bat we can see that both of them have a 4 simple laser turret on top of them, and I think that is on a 2-axis turret because it is meant to shoot down stuff like flying squirrels that goes over the altitude of this thing. And then if we look inside it, we can see that it doesn't really have an impressive armor scheme. The cockpit is 1 layer thick metal. The sides are 1 layer thick metal, wood in some places because EMP protection. And then yeah, it is 1 layer of metal thick. That's it. 1 layer of metal, nothing really crazy. There's an engine compartment with fuel in here, some thingy-majingy ACBs here, and some heavy armor just in the back because ammo. You always protect the ammo. That's the rule in FTD. Heavy armor in the back because ammo, where most other things will be shooting. Then there are 2 of these, I think, IR cameras. Yes, 360 IR cameras in the back. And the rest of the things, except more ammo in here, is protected with a meager 1 layer of metal. And then we have the APS in the middle, which is kind of 5 by 5 by 5, which is honestly big for such a small craft, and are of course belt-fed auto-loaded because that is the best choice for smaller crafts, and is protected with some heavy armor in the front, but in the side it doesn't really have a heavy armor protection. It only has some metal. And then we have these missiles in the sides, which are simple, which are small missiles, and apparently they're acting as the armor for the APS cannon as well. Let's look at the difference for the non-budget cut version. The non-budget cut version has missiles on top of it, the same small missiles, which are triple fins, 2 fuel tanks, and fragmented warheads with active radar, while those missiles in the budget cut version, I think it's the same thing. Yep, EMP added as well. Fragment warhead, explosive warhead, EMP, and is a lot longer, 4 fins for this one, while that one is a little smaller. But in the size, this has small missiles as well. Just look at that. Barrel thruster, turning thrusters, 2 fins, 2 fuel tanks, target prediction guidance, EMP, frag, and explosive warheads for the side missiles. And if you look inside, there's nothing much. There's not many changes than the budget cut version. It's just the missiles and maybe a thing or 2 here and there. And this thing has also shields. Strength 1.5 shields, but 1 layered mainly, and in some places overlap does it to 2 layers. So mild shielding on this thing, and this thing I think has the same kind of shielding. Hello? Do you have the same kind of shielding? Yes, they both have the same kind of shielding, so Yep, they both have the same kind of shielding. And I do not think I should shoot this thing with shells because, let's be honest, what we saw, it is probably gonna die very fast very soon if we shoot it with shells. So what we're gonna do is go ahead directly to the fighting scene and let's see what this beauty can do. One lower budget Skyfury versus the friendly neighborhood bamboozler. Let's see who wins. This is not a fair fight because the bamboozler is 4 times the cost of the Skyfury, but I want this fight. I want this fight to happen and I want to see what happens. The Skyfury is starting off by shooting a lot of frag shells. Those shells were pure frags, while the bamboozler is the shot of the missiles of these things. And then the Skyfury gets pummeled down by the Gatling gun of the bamboozler. I really did not expect that to go any better though. And since we really do not have stuff costing that low, I decided to go with deep water guard crops. So this is a Prowler Elite, and we'll spawn in our friendly neighborhood Skyfury to fight it. Skyfury, the budget cut version. Let's spawn that in. Let's turn everything off. Let's let them stabilize. So a Prowler Elite versus a Skyfury. Let's begin. Let's see who wins. The Skyfury dodging all those speed fast missiles and shooting the Prowler up with pure frag guns, pure frag shells. Those APSs are pure frags. And then the Prowler missing the Skyfury with all of its might. Nothing is managing to come close to the Skyfury. Look at that. It moves so erratically that the missiles are just straight outright missing. And the crams cannot predict the movement path of the Skyfury, while the Skyfury, little by little, starts chipping off at the health of the Prowler Elite. While I do think the Skyfury can dodge a lot of missiles and a lot of cram cannons, the Skyfury will be weak to Gatling guns especially, because APS, fast APS, would be the bane of this thing. But for now, look at that. Look at that destruction. The middle section is just gone. The middle section of that damn Prowler is just gone. The Skyfury keeps shooting frag shells and keeps shooting missiles, which were getting deleted by the lamps of this thing, but the lamps are probably gone now, so the Skyfury, all it needs to do now is dodge all the cram shells and in return deliver frags in the face of this thing. Or belly, whatever you choose to shoot at. And I think the Skyfury has ran out. Look at those crams! This is bounced off the shields. What? And the APS has started reloading again. That is interesting. The APS at this point has ran out of shells, and the Skyfury has released smoke for some reason. Oh, the Skyfury took a big cram shot in the tail section of this thing, but the Skyfury does not care. Even if the engine section is breached, I think this thing has enough steam power to stay afloat and keep dodging the things. But the Skyfury's almost all of its firepower has gone offline because ammo is a concern and the cannon is reloading. That missile. Some of the missiles do think they're torpedoes, but then realize that they're not and come back to hit the target. The turning circles. Then it... Oh! What? Who took the shot? Did the Prowler take the shot or the Skyfury take the shot? Let's look at the Skyfury. The engine is gone. The engine is completely gone, yet the Skyfury keeps flying, keeps reloading, keeps doing stuff. And I think the shields are off since the engine are gone, but It still has, as I said, enough steam power to stay afloat. And more cram shots for the Skyfury. Damn, these deep water crafts, they have such an unimportant middle section that even if you keep shooting at them, their cannons kinda don't cripple that fast. And there we go, more cram shots. But this thing just doesn't want to go down, and look at that! The APS has completely reloaded in the time of a fight. It keeps taking cram shots, but it keeps not carrying. And finally, the Prowler is down. We gotta move it up a notch. Let's make this thing fight against the Crossbones, shall we? Crossbones, the pride of the Deep Water Guard versus the more expensive version of the Skyfury. Let's see who will win, who will win. Place the bets down in the comment. The Skyfury opens up with APS and missiles while the Crossbones plunders the Skyfury with its secondary APSs and some of the simple cannons. Oh my god, hiccups. And the Skyfury has started plummeting the middle section of the Crossbones, the main power of the Crossbones. No matter how many shells you shoot at it, you're mostly shooting at redundant bits. And the Skyfury has taken a lot of secondary shell hits and is going down pretty fast. Look at that. The APS has blown up. But it still does not want to go down. Even if it doesn't have an AI and doesn't have an APS, it still is in the air. Drifting away. But I would say that was fair. It's the Crossbone, for God's sake. Let's try out 2 Skyfury against the Crossbone, shall we? Against the friendly neighborhood Crossbones. Who will win? Who will win? I place my bets on the Crossbones though. But still, Skyfury's opening up with a lot of missiles, and as you guys can see, the budget cut version has not nearly enough missiles as the more expensive version. The Skyfury's coming close to each other, almost ramming each other, yet starting to repair each other. And they're taking APS shots from the Crossbones secondaries, while the Crossbones primaries surprisingly very effective at shooting aircraft. I never got this about the Crossbones. The Crossbone is exceptionally good at not missing cram shots. Look at that. Those cram shots just keep plummeting this thing. But look at that. Engine's gone. Engine of this thing is not gone, so this tanked a little bit of that area around the engines because that has the heavy armor for the ammo. And cram shots bouncing, cram shots hitting. Skyfury does not care. Skyfury keeps shooting. Skyfury keeps hovering around in the air like it doesn't even care. Although I think that APS is not supposed to be that low. It might have lost a few gauge increasers or whatnot, and that Skyfury has lost its APS, and it just keeps shooting the Crossbones with whatever left missiles it has. The Crossbones at 89%, while the budget cut Skyfury just went down, while the more expensive Skyfury is still there. So all in all, I would say an amazing aircraft, just not good enough to take out a damn Crossbones, but still good enough to take out a deep water expert, isn't it? The Crossbones is just too good. Look at that. It doesn't. I just cannot. I have never made a cram that hits aircraft with this much of a consistency. The Crossbones is just amazing. Allnear, you're a great builder. That face shot must have taken out that thing. And with that, I think I'll conclude this playing with subscriber craft here. If you want to submit your own craft for me to review, you can go to the Discord server. Links are in the description, and submit your own craft, and I will make a video about it, you can make damn sure, you can be damn sure about that. And hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this video. I'm Dark Cow. Brawl safe. Brawl safe. That outro never made sense, but it kind of is my outro now, so yeah.